everybody. Thank you for coming. If you're new here, my name's Deann. This is Deann Shield Maiden Tarot, my channel. And today we're going to be talking politics with two wonderful readers. I've got to this side, I've got Kevin, my friend, Kevin Loving Vibrations, and he is a Reiki master. And he also does card readings and psychic readings, and he's great. He's really good. So I have his channel in the chat and in the description box. So make sure if you're not a subscriber to him that you go over and subscribe to him. And if you need Reiki, that's the place to go because he's really good at it. Soon he's going to be doing classes and maybe he'll teach me. So I can use that for myself. And then down here, I have the wonderful Susan Lynn, who I haven't seen in such a long time on here. So I'm so excited to have you. And she is a psychic and a medium. And she does political readings. She does all different kinds of readings. She has a little shop. She's awesome. So please, if you're not, you probably got to be subscribed to these two. But if you're not, please do because they're great. And I just love them. And you will too. So check them out. They do really good political readings. And I've watched you two together do your readings. And you guys really do well together. I've enjoyed those shows.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Today, I'm going to put, what'd you say, Susan?
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy that I got you here. And what I'm going to do today, I asked my subscribers for questions. And if you guys have anything you want, to ask from your subscribers, you can. But I thought I'll read these off to you. I read on them yesterday. I threw cards yesterday to save a little time because I had so many questions. And we'll see what you guys, what everybody thinks. Hi, everybody in the chat. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Spirit Beyond the Stars. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Sweet Mimi Rose, Celeste, Nora, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So, got to put my eyeballs on. I have a question from Elaine Arnold, and I'll ask you first, Kevin. Will Nikki Haley be the Republican nominee? And also, we've got the election today. Do you think she's going to be the nominee in that?
Oh, with New Hampshire, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do not see Nikki Haley as the nominee. I think Trump's going to win the primary, but I think the health and legal stuff might take him out before November. I think that there's a shot that Nikki Haley might get it, but I think more likely than not, no, I don't see her as the nominee.
How about you, Susan?
I totally agree with Kevin. I think Trump is going to get the final Republican nominee, but I don't think he's going to make it to November, whatever that means. Whether he's incapacitated or crossed over or whatever happens to him, I just don't see there being a real ticket on the ticket for the Republican election. And then as far as New Hampshire goes, I don't know, you guys. I'm not sure I'm not sure that I'm getting, it might be a toss up. I don't know who I'm getting for New Hampshire. The voters are just kind of disorganized and irritated, in general.
Yes.
And I think it's really hard for me to kind of tap into their energy because half of them are mad at Trump, half of them are mad at Biden. Didn't campaign there. So there's people there saying that there should be a write-in, that they should write in Biden, even though they don't need to.
We got on the ballot in New Hampshire.
They're saying to write him in. They had it on NPR to write him in. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying there's just a lot of mixed up energy. But the bottom line is I see Trump being the actual Republican nominee. But I think Nikki Haley is going to be right there with him neck and neck.
Okay.
Yeah, I read on it yesterday, and that's not what I wanted to hear, but I did the pendulum and the cards, and because I wanted a different answer, but I wasn't getting it. I got that Trump is going to be the nominee. However, I do keep getting that I'm thinking around May-ish, May, June, right around there, there's going to be something that's going to happen to take him off, or I don't know if it's a conviction. I don't know if it's a sickness, but something is going to happen this spring and summer. And I've read on it for a long time, and my pendulum keeps telling me that. So what I wonder is what happens. Let me make sure I don't have this thing on. What happens if he is the nominee? Do you guys know if he is the nominee and say he's passes away, or he has to drop out, or he's criminally, convicted, and he's the nominee? What does the Republican Party do at that point in time? We've never had this happen.
Yeah. Well, all I see is a lot of chaos. It's very foggy for me to actually tap in to see who's going to be that replacement, because I don't even think the Republicans know what they would do in that circumstance. I do think that Nikki and I do think DeSantis will try to fight for it, but I almost feel like, I don't know if it's them or if Trump has a running mate by then and it automatically goes to the running mate if he's not around. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of confusion with that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask if Liz Cheney would jump in there and try to be a nominee, but I don't think she can at this point, and if she could, I don't think they'd vote for her, because they're all sick at her. What'd you say?
But don't get Susan started on Liz Cheney.
I've taken my antidote. I'm okay.
You're okay.
I've taken my Liz Cheney antidote. She just triggers me. It's fine. But it's such a fascinating thing, because so I think what would have to happen is there'd be a write-in, right? At that point, because the ballots are printed and the leader of the pack is not available. So they'd have to write it in. So that's a fascinating thing that you brought up, Deann, with the fact that I do think that DeSantis will try to, mount another run at it. I think Haley's not ever going to really all the way. I mean, even if she loses, she's going to have at least gotten somewhere. So it'd be natural for her to do it. But I think it's fascinating that you said, what about his VP pick? And I think that I did catch earlier, Kevin and Lori, Way of Positive Change, were on doing a live, and you guys were talking about that. And I got to tell you guys, when I saw, is it Tim Scott? What is that guy that, when I saw him propose to that woman on the beach, I said, uh-oh, because he has no reason to marry her. Zero reason. The man was a public virgin until it became a problem. And then he produced this woman. And he said, oh, turns out I've got a girlfriend. And that was good enough when he was running for president. Mm-hmm. Then he didn't make it. So he and the woman disappeared. And now all of a sudden he's marrying her on the beach. I'm telling you, that is to me, that's a key indicator that he's in the running, or at least he thinks he's in the running. I also would definitely not pass up a Stefanik, because Trump has called her a killer. I think those two are probably his favorites, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to pick anybody that's gotten good publicity against him, because he hates that. So, Vivek stood in front of him with his arms up like this in front of Trump when he was giving his speech to step down. I was like, oh man, bad. So I think Trump's going to pull, and I really am going to say this because I'm the crazy psychic of all you guys. I swear, I wouldn't be surprised if Walt Nauta, I swear to God, I wouldn't be surprised if because Trump thinks he can do anything. He thinks he's king. So it's going to be interesting. Think about DeSantis and Haley trying to fight with Tim Scott. You know what I mean? Yep. It's going to be like insanity, right? It's totally going to be insanity.
And do you feel like the chaos, it just further divides the Republican Party too?
Yes.
So like come November, all the MAGAs are pissed off that Trump's not on the ballot and he's not around. They're not going to vote.
They don't vote.
Well, Ben Carson, is it Ben Carlson? He's sitting here saying stuff like he's the new King David and stuff like that. And he's so sleepy and so like he's just like a zombie. So I feel like Trump might pick him because he might feel like I can control him.
What do you think about him, Kevin? I agree with Deann. He's somebody that I could see Trump, because Trump thinks, oh, I'll just get a black man. It'll solve some problem.
I'm not racist. Yeah, I'm not racist. I have a black
Right.
vice president that he can
Right.
control.
Right. And he thinks it'll get the black vote too.
Well, right. And I do feel like I've always felt like he picks a woman for VP. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a black man, but whoever can kind of help with that. I don't know. I'm not personally feeling Ben Carson, although I know others have said that they feel.
Who do
him.
you feel? Who feels strongest to you?
I'd always felt like Kristi Noem, the South Dakota governor, or Nancy Mace kind of looks like her too. I don't think Nikki Haley. I do think that he's looking at Stefanik too, but I don't think she'll be the VP pick.
Mace has energy. What do you think, Deann?
Mace, I don't know. I just think it's going to be he's going to pick a woman, or he's going to pick a person of color, because he's going to think that looks good for him. So I think Stefanik or Ben Carson.
Okay,
is the two that I think he's going to choose.
Might not trust Stefanik because he called her a killer. That's also an indication that she might,
Well, he needs somebody that looks good. That's not going to take the attention away from him.
That's just going to be mute. Just mute.
Yeah. I don't know if Stefanik has the look that he's looking for. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Isn't that terrible that he goes on looks like that, and look at him, Look at Nikki Haley too. Did you guys hear that they have brought out allegations of her cheating on her husband like a couple different times, and it's okay for Trump, but for her. Yes.
I hadn't heard that.
I didn't hear that.
I just brought this stuff out is what I heard. I could be wrong, but that's what
a
I
hit
was
job. Well, even if it's true, I mean, that's a hit job. That
it was,
they took her out.
I really see Trump going on the attack against Haley too, because I think Trump's going to probably win tonight in New Hampshire, but I don't think it's going to be by the margin that he wants. He wants a blowout. I think it's going to be tighter than that. But so the fact that she stays in the race, he's going to get really dark.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It kind of reminded me of Hillary when they brought out that information at the last minute, right before this election. They bring out she had an affair. Everybody knows Trump's had multiple affairs. Nobody cares. But when it's a woman, it seems to be a different story. Her supporters are upset about it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's got Trump's fingerprints all over it. That's funny. I mean, it could be true, but I mean, just, he wants to take her out now before she's any more of a threat. He's not going to wait for no October surprise. So go ahead.
I was going to say real quickly, I think Haley might be around till South Carolina or Super Tuesday, and then I see her out.
Is that March? Super Tuesday? Is that March?
I feel her leaving end of February, beginning of March.
So not much longer. So I have the $1 million question. I'm just out of patience with this whole thing. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. I want to give it 1 rotten tomato on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm ready for it to end. So what do you guys feel like? So Deann was saying she feels like Trump is going to just be kind of out of the picture. When did you say?
I'm feeling like May or June, right around there, late spring, early summer, in the summer, early summer.
Yeah. What about you, Kevin? How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling more summer.
Like later than June, like July, August?
It could be around June, but I was feeling August. I think it's around the time of the convention. I think the convention's middle of July. It feels like it's either just before or just after, for entertainment purposes only. We should have Susan do it because I love her the endings of her videos. Entertainment purposes only.
So that's fascinating. So, I mean, I think at least the good news here is that we're all of a consensus that by September, this man is nowhere to be found, or he's been ruled incompetent. He's parked at the golf course next to his ex-wife. Whatever the reason is, he's not in the mix. Do you guys feel like that is true? Like around before September, or do you feel like
before September? I'm thinking like I said, I'm thinking summer at the latest, sometime in the summer.
I like your idea. Okay, Kevin.
I think. Well, I don't think he's going to have an easy year. I mean, even spring with the DC case, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure there. I know for people that are talking about spring and stuff. For me, it feels like it's maybe August, maybe September too. I mean, I don't know. It's not the most clearest energy to follow because it's kind of scattered all over the place. It's very
That's
murky.
true.
Well, this is a question of mine. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I had, they have been talking about there's AI bots that are calling people Democrats and telling them, I don't know if Democrats are talking about the New Hampshire election, if they're allowed to vote in there, because Trump was throwing a fit. They're allowing Democrats to vote, and so they're telling them, you don't need to vote in this one. You need to vote in the November one, and they're using Biden's voice. I'm feeling like it's like Russian bots or something like that.
Insane.
Have you guys heard that? And what do you think?
I haven't heard that, but I totally believe it. I totally believe it.
I had heard that, and I do think that I do feel like it's going to be thoroughly investigated, but I do see AI being a bit of a problem for the election with the misinformation. I do feel like there's rules and regulations put in, probably more so 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
Where, it's something that we're going to have to live with. And it's going to be great with like the technology advances, but those guardrails have to be put in place. So it's going to be a bit dicey till that's the case.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, whoever had called had their caller ID number, and the person who got it knew that this doesn't sound right, and they called the police. And so, yeah. And then about Nikki Haley, that was on a news program I saw just before we came on. I
believe it. It's going to get ugly. I mean, I think that Trump is really, really, really starting to feel the squeeze. I feel like E. Jean Carroll is really in his head because he is tweeting or truthing or whatever he does. He is just beside himself about E. Jean Carroll. So I feel like the pressure is building and mounting and building. And I'm just, really, there could be an event, a cardiac event that could also, maybe what you're seeing, Deann, is a cardiac event that happens in June. And that puts a question mark about whether he can really continue. It doesn't take him out of the race, which would be what Kevin is seeing, which is just murky, crazy chaos. So think about that, right? We have a president. It makes sense, right? We have a presidential candidate that has a big MI, really probably should stop out of the race, but we know Trump won't do that. We know he's not going to do that. So here we are again. He's helping us see that we need new laws or we need new boundaries or something.
Yeah. And also, too, think how that would affect the MAGA base. If Trump is saying, I want to run, and the establishment Republicans are like, okay, well, he just had a major health episode. He's not going to be our nominee. There's confusion there. That's what I feel like. I feel like a huge divide in the Republican Party. And I see that kind of helping Democrats, too, because I think the MAGAs aren't going to vote.
Yeah, you were right, Kevin, when you said about the split in the Republican Party, and that's what they're hurting themselves. They're fighting one another, calling part of themselves rhinos. Well, if you're a Republican and they call you a rhino, you think, well, they're not accepting me in this party. I'll vote for the other party. It's crazy. They're fighting amongst themselves and nothing's getting done.
It's good for us, though. It's good for us because they're going to stay home. And even if the Democrats see a little peel off of some of the youth vote around the Palestine thing, we're still going to march to victory. We're going to be able to have that margin. We're going to be able to lose some of those votes and still go to victory because the Republican Party is in shambles. Did you guys see this comment? Bonnie Russell says, I saw on Midas Touch that Cannon is off the dox case.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
I got that message. I knew she was going to be off the dox case, but I didn't know it was going to be this soon. Man, y'all don't underestimate Jack Smith.
What is that about? What is that about the dox case?
The Judge Cannon is the
document case. I thought, what's a dox case?
We can't keep track of all the cases, I know, but I loved your expression. Woo! That's awesome.
I feel like even though the primary is going on, I feel like that would be huge, big breaking news, and I haven't heard of that yet. Not to say that it didn't happen, but I don't know. Maybe people in the chat can vet that for us.
Yeah, let's vet it. Let's take a look and make sure, because we're in disinformation land.
But I agree. I do see that happening at some point.
Yeah, I see her leaving. She's not going to stay.
I'm sorry, guys. I got a question from Artist 179, and this is a little bit long, but I wrote it down because I thought I'll see what you guys feel about this, because this is sort of an issue that people are talking about. This is Artist 179 says, I've been noticing a trend on social media of more and more Black and brown people, as well as some Democrats, turning away from Biden. They're stating that they're going to vote for Trump, and many young people are now turning away from Biden and voting for Trump or third party, which is a vote for Trump, just like No Labels is. Do you see if this will have a huge effect or impact on Biden winning? And why do you think this might be? I've noticed that there's that trend too here. Maybe because of the Afghanistan, maybe because of people's are having a tight time, affording groceries. They think Democrats aren't doing nothing for me. I see that there's a lot of different reasons. But and the abortion thing, a lot of people that are Baptist, a lot, and that's an issue. So what do you guys think about that? Why would they be turning away, and do you see that as affecting Biden?
I think a lot of it's social media, to be honest with you, like TikTok. People are getting that as a news source, and it's. But I do see it being a bit of a challenge, but I do see for the most part, I think that there'll be some that don't turn around or decide not to vote. I don't really see a huge shift towards Trump, but I really feel like a lot of momentum, a lot of like celebrities and huge names in the Democratic Party, really like this summer, really pushing for Biden. Like there's a huge momentum, a lot of big events for it that I think is going to bring some of that excitement that's needed.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think they need it. Yeah, don't you? I think they need to put out the message of what he has done. You have this because of Biden. You have that because of Biden. You don't have this because the Republicans voted against it. Your prices are high because they voted against him. People gouging you. He tried to pass a bill, and your people voted against it. They need to be louder and be more like what's her name? Jasmine Crockett.
Crockett. If you guys aren't following Jasmine Crockett from Dallas,
she's awesome.
She's amazing.
She is.
I totally agree with you, Deann. And I agree with Kevin. I agree with both of you guys. And I don't know what it is, but Biden does something big in the summer. And I think you're right, Deann, that like, Obama, Michelle, everybody's going to be out hitting those airwaves and ginning up, getting the energy up. And I think that's going to help. And I think that give Biden a little bit more time. The stock market is at a record right now. He's trying to forgive as many student loans as he can. He's doing everything he can. I feel like by summer, some of his more of those things that he's been doing are going to be more known. But why these kids are, and I think it is disinformation in the sense, I think Kevin is right. I think people are on TikTok and they're being fed a line of BS because they're already, like you said, Deann, they're already pissed off. They're already pissed off at whatever. And then somebody says, yeah, you should be. You really should be. And they kind of get in their head. I had a viewer yesterday comment that she's a Black woman, and she said, my nephew just said, I'm not voting for Biden. He's done nothing for us. I'm not doing it. I'm going to protest vote. So I do think some of these people will do that thing. But I don't think it's going to be enough because I think the Republicans are going to be in disarray. They're not going to have their act together. Imagine if they have a write-in vote, you guys. Imagine these Republicans trying to write in DeSantis, DeSantis, and you got to spell it exactly right if you do a write-in. Nikki Haley, Nikki. I mean, they're never going to make it. They're never going to spell any of these names right. So it's just going to be pathetic, to be honest with you. So I am concerned about it, but I'm not concerned about it to that degree. I don't think.
I wish we had Jasmine Crockett getting out there speaking to everybody because she has gone on some. Yeah, she went on a Black radio show thing I watched, and they were questioning Biden. They were questioning, and she was telling them, that even if you don't agree, yes, we do need to get the word out better. But what is your choice? What is your other choice? And at 80 years old, I think he's doing an amazing job because can you imagine what he's all going through at 80 years old? I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't do it right now.
Right.
The next question I have is from DD Abel. It says, this is for Susan. Any chance for Liz Cheney, Susan's favorite person, swoops in and takes the Republican nomination because the party doesn't have anyone electable? Liz Cheney is one of the Republicans who's responsible for where we are now with Trump by not impeaching him. She says, remember whose child, and she told us, remember whose child she is. She's not any different than her father.
I like this person. I like this person. Kevin, what do you think? Do you think she's going to swoop in and do anything?
I think she's mulling it over, but I don't think she would do it if there's a chance that it would hurt Biden. I don't think she'll do it this time around. I think more maybe in the future.
What about you, Deann? You just used your magic pendulum.
I agree. I've been getting a maybe when I read on it, and I think she has thought about it. She really has thought about it. If she thought she could win, she might, but I don't think she can. And so I don't think she's going to, because even if she did jump in, they look at her as a traitor to the MAGAs.
That's true. Yep. I totally agree with you guys. I totally agree with you guys. Do you guys, let me throw an extra one in for you guys though. You know that guy Youngkin from Ohio, maybe? Do you guys get a sense for him at all that he, I mean, do you think anybody else might throw their hat in the ring besides the usual suspects? Is there anybody at all that pops up in your radar?
For 2024?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They begged Youngkin to jump in the race. All the GOP donors and all that, they really wanted Youngkin. I think Youngkin was smart enough to know that it's probably not the best year to do that because of all the chaos. And with Trump, you don't want to be that target. It's career ending. I see him running in 2028.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Deann?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't even know how that works. Can anybody jump in? Can one of the previous nominees jump back in? Because if so, you know, if they find out, well, if they found out that he was guilty and there's enough proof that shows the people if he's convicted, who knows, Chris Christie might say, I told you so, you know, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. I haven't really read on that. What are you feeling?
I just don't even know. I don't know if we can do a write-in for president.
Does anybody in the chat know? We've never been in this circumstance before. It says
right here, writing in a name on a ballot does not mean that vote will count. Get the facts on how to write in eligible candidates for federal and state, but specifically president. Somebody write in and right, because they have to file a certificate of adequacy. Do you guys remember that?
No.
So in different states, like in New York, they have to have a certificate of adequacy. And the certificate is different in New York than it is in Ohio. Some states don't require them, but the states that do, they have to have some certificate on file. So now that makes sense because now probably Nikki Haley has a certificate on file for all of the states because she's intending on running. So probably it would just be the candidates that have been planning to run, I think. I don't know.
I'll just say, though, I do think that Youngkin very well might get the nomination for the Republican Party.
Youngkin? Does anybody know? Artist was wanting to know, why isn't President Biden on the ballot in New Hampshire? Well, it's the Republican.
He's not on the ballot.
He's not on the ballot. Now I remember because there was an argument between the state. Somebody's going to put it in the chat, but there was an argument between the state party and somebody got into an argument about the timing. There was an argument, and so he's not on the ballot. And that's why I don't think Biden went and campaigned in New Hampshire. So NPR interviewed this woman and said, I'm a Democrat, but he didn't care about coming here so I'm putting in a vote for Kennedy. I mean, people have lost their minds. You know what I mean? Like, you've lost your mind.
We're living through some crazy times. Pauline said, pardon me, Kevin?
Go ahead.
She says, hello, can you see if Michigan's open Senate seat will stay in Democratic control?
I get yes, but I could be wrong.
I see it staying blue.
I get yes.
Woo-hoo!
So we'll take it. We'll
Oh my
take
God.
it.
Look at this. Somebody's got to put this on the screen. Sabrina says, Kevin Chandler for president. I'm VP and you're Secretary of State. Let's do this. We're
Okay.
psychic. We can run this country like nobody's business.
Better than who's running it now. At least we care about the people, you know.
Oh
What
my
did
God.
Joni say? I've been getting Asa Hutchinson all along.
How about
she
Asa
said.
Hutchinson, y'all?
Yeah, I don't feel it.
You don't feel it?
I don't think anybody knows who he is.
Let's see. What is this? Deb Hopkins, when does Matt Gaetz depart, seeing that the ethics committee has reopened and stepped up the investigation? I knew they were going to be coming after him.
I did too. It was only a matter of time. When does he depart? Gosh, when does he depart? I feel like he's going to fight it. I think maybe this fall or winter. What are you guys getting?
I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe next fall, but I could be totally off, but I was getting fall. You know, those things take so long. You know, they
Yeah, it
just
could be next
drag
fall.
out.
What are you getting, Kevin?
I don't get really a timeline. I think he's going to stay in there for a while until the January 6th stuff kind of comes back to him. But because I get that there's delays with it.
Delays. Okay, so probably Deann with next fall is the correct answer here.
But I see jail for him. He's restricted. He's bound and tied up.
I see him going to jail. That dude that went to jail, Harrison, what was his name? The tax assessor. His attorney said on a video, on an interview, he said, my client's in jail. And I have all the same evidence against Matt Gaetz that I have against my client, but my client is in jail.
Yeah.
He said that. He's like, this is wrong. My client shouldn't be in jail and Matt Gaetz not be in jail. So I think this is going to come back and bite him. I do see him going to jail despite his daddy and whatever else he's got going on. But I think you guys are right. There could be a big delay.
And there'll be appeals and everything else, I'm sure, you know, if he does lose. He's got a lot of money. It seems like, you know, they can stretch stuff out. They know how to delay.
And get the judges, you know, get the judges that would, you know,
benefit them.
Greenberg, that's it. Greenberg. Thank you, Tish.
Chris Wiggins says 2028 Cheney's going to run.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Oh, I think 28 Cheney is going to run. That's why she triggers me, because she's going to be a formidable opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Youngkin will run, Cheney will run, maybe Asa Hutchinson. That's when you're going to have the normal Republicans come back out and be like, here we are. We've never just disregard all of that. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I think you're right, you know, Susan, when you said at least, you know, I mean, she's not good, but the only thing she's got going for her, she wasn't a dictator. She approves of democracy and the Constitution. But other than that, she voted on everything that Trump did just about, and she could have impeached him. She could have had him impeached, and she didn't vote for that. So
that's true. Yeah.
Let's see. I've got one from Jotty4688. And this is a little long. It says, this could get ugly if the new majority speaker, which we hope presumably is Hakeem Jeffries, gets sworn in. Because I'm feeling like he's going to get sworn in. A lot of us are before the election. Says then he in turn swears in Congress. But if there is anyone who engaged in or gave aid to the insurrection, constitutionally, they're not eligible to hold this office. All of them who voted to overturn the results of the last election should be ineligible, as they aided in the insurrection. I think we really need to adapt our messaging to consider these constitutional issues. There is no GOP base left to any significance. And if the Supreme Court decides that the insurrection wasn't one, then they are also complicit. And no one in the Supreme Court should be swearing in Trump. Said also Liz Cheney knows which Congress people aided them. Is the DOJ quietly working behind the scenes to prevent chaos later? So it's a lot. Do you think the DOJ is working behind the scenes? Because they're right. You know, if Hakeem has to swear in Congress and he knows they were part of the insurrection, then they shouldn't be able to be sworn in. And if Supreme Court is complicit and says, you know, he has absolute immunity, and then they act like it's okay, then I don't know.
But the first question is, will Hakeem Jeffries take that step? That's the first question. So what do you guys think? Do you feel like he will?
I don't see it. I see the DOJ going after those that planned the insurrection and charge it that way, but I don't see them saying, because you were part of the coup, that makes you ineligible to be a member of Congress. I do think that there's going to be further rules and regulations put in place going forward, but I don't see them doing that. That's just what I'm picking up. Don't shoot the messenger.
I agree.
I don't agree with them.
I feel like Hakeem, they want the cover of the court. They want the cover of the DOJ. You know what I mean? This is why Biden, it's all of them. They really want this done through the courts, even though maybe we don't need to. Maybe by the letter of the law and the Constitution, we don't need to. They want to. So I don't see Hakeem doing that, because I think this guy's a super strategist. And he's like, yeah, let them think they're okay. Let them continue criming. Let them continue making their phone calls, doing their deals, because the whole time Jack Smith has got all of that on tape.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like the same way. I do feel Hakeem is going to be the Speaker of the House, but I feel like Jack Smith knows. He's got information. I think he knows MTG. He knows about, Holly, he knows about Jim Jordan. He's got these people's information, but I think he's just biding his time trying to get the people he has now. But I think he's going to come after them. I don't think the Speaker of the House is going to have to. And how have you guys been feeling about MTG? I feel like she's going to be indicted. I don't feel her being convicted. I feel her taking a plea deal, stepping down, and not being able to hold office possibly.
I feel MTG going down. I don't know if that means jail time, but I think she'll probably get reelected. But she's in quite a bit of trouble. Is what I feel.
You think she's going to get reelected? I know a lot of people like her crazy, but I don't know. Will MTG be reelected? I'm not feeling it. I'm hoping I'm right.
I
hope you're right too. Yeah, I think it could be close. I think MTG could be close, really close. What do you guys feel about Boebert? Because I feel like Boebert's in more trouble. I think Boebert goes out before MTG. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
She just said, now she got accused of slapping her husband. She got, the Beetlejuice thing. I mean, then she switches. She's not going to be reelected. There's no way. And I don't see her being indicted. I don't see her being involved in this, but I see her being kicked out. Just not being reelected. I think she's due for reelection this year, 2024.
Yeah, everybody in the House is up for election every 2 years.
Are they?
I think whoever's primarying her is going to win. I think she'll be out that way. The thing is that, well, Lauren Boebert wasn't a very competitive district where she was going to lose, so she switched. But I almost feel like whoever's running against her for that seat, the other Republican will win. I think it will stay red. MTG is in a very solidly red district, so she's not going to leave on her own. I see trouble for her involvement in January 6th, and I see trouble for Boebert for January 6th too. That's what takes MTG out. But she'll get voted.
That's what I feel. I feel they tell her to step down. That'll be part of the plea deal, but I feel like they have evidence on her.
Yeah.
So
because somehow, once Trump goes, I feel like it's open season. Once Trump goes, I feel like Jack Smith has a green light to start all of those indictments. I just feel like it's going to be bum, 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 bum. And they're all going to get swept up in it. And then, the trials are going to take some time, and then we'll see what happens.
It's crazy, isn't it? There's never been an election so important or like this.
And we haven't even seen it yet. We haven't even seen the crazy this election's going to be yet.
Well, I had an astrologer on last night, and she was saying 2024, the age of Aquarius and all that that Pluto coming in, Pluto is going to get rid of some of these people, and that we're going to, have that more brotherly love, that things that were, so I'm praying. It was Illumination Portal. She was telling me about,
Fantastic. Who did you have on?
I had Valerie from Illumination Portal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I watched you have Karen from, a Little Blue Lotus. I love her, and I'm going to have her back on, but I'm waiting until she gets everything settled,
Yeah.
She's awesome.
We have some amazing, and Andre, we have some amazing astrologers. Thank God.
We do.
Thank God.
And I love those three because they make things kind of more simple, so I can understand it.
Right.
I'm telling you, because don't be talking over my head.
Karen says, do any of you feel that Judge Cannon will be removed from 45's case because she's delaying the case ordered by 45?
Do we see her being removed? Is that what the question was?
Yeah.
I see her being removed. And I'll just say, we talked about it earlier, and people in the chat were saying they did not see where she left, that they thought that was fake news. So I don't think she's resigned from that position yet.
Yeah.
But I do see her leaving eventually. I really do. I see her leaving the court, like leaving, maybe keeping her law degree, her ability to be an attorney, but maybe trading that. Like, I'll step down if I can keep my law degree, and I won't practice. I'll just be a consultant.
Yes. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to tell, I think this is for you, Kevin. You got Yara became a new YouTube member, member for you.
She joined us last night from our members.
Another new member.
Hey, all right. Very cool.
So thank you for being members for Kevin. And let's see, get my glasses back on. I don't know why I don't leave these on my face. They're on and off. So let's see. Elaine Arnold, 4834 says, will the investigation into Fani Willis delay the trial for Trump in the RICO case in Georgia?
I don't think so.
I don't see it delaying it, but I'm not sure when that trial, I don't think they have a set date for it yet. I don't feel like that trial is going to be done before the election. I think it's going to probably be like August or September is what they're going to shoot for. I don't know how long that trial is going to take. I would imagine a while with so many people that are being charged. So I almost feel like it's not going to be, they're not going to have a verdict before the election.
What do you guys feel about, one of the prosecutors, they say she dated, and they're, I kind of am concerned. I think that they won't take Fani out, but I got a feeling that he may step down just for, to make everybody happy, to make them feel like this is not rigged, because I think he may step down, because I do think that she dated him or had some kind of relationship with him, and it looks bad.
It does look bad. I agree. I totally agree with that. And it's a distraction. It's like, come on, you guys, we have enough trouble. You know what I mean? You're taking down a really important figure. This is a really important case, and you want to mess up my you know what I mean? Like, act right, everybody. Be on your best behavior. But yeah, I think it's going to be a distraction. I think the Republicans are going to just beat the drum about it and make it a big deal, but I don't think legally it's going to be a big deal. I agree with you. I think this guy is going to say, I'm going to step away from this case. And then really that should solve the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. He's stepping down. And I don't see it really affecting. I don't see Fani going anywhere. I don't see them saying, you can't try this case. I don't see that. It's more of a hit job against her from the Republicans, because I believe the male prosecutor, his wife was getting involved with it, but it feels like it's just things to try to slow things down to get the case dismissed, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, you don't see Cannon getting death threats or them looking into her life or seeing what she's
Exactly.
doing, you know. Joy Rico said, "Is the Stormy Daniels trial still going to go on before the January 6th trial?"
I feel after.
Stormy Daniels go before the January 6th.
I'm not even sure when that New York case is going to, when they said it was going to happen. I think it's going to be delayed because of the January 6th trial.
I feel like it's going to be later. I think it's going to be next year.
Okay.
But what do you think? What did you get, Deann?
I feel like it's going to be after. I feel like they want to get this January 6th case because that's the really important one. They know Cannon is going to kick the can down the road, so they've got to get him for this. And that's just a smaller case. So I think the big things are going to be the New York, him having to pay that money, not being able to do business there. That's going to kill him.
Yep.
And then the January 6th thing, I think, does him in. I don't think he even maybe gets to the Cannon case.
I mean, that's the thing, right? So do you guys see Trump being alive or being cognitively, with it through all of these cases? Or how many cases do you see him actually being able to participate in?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I see January 6th.
I see January 6th. I feel like there might be one more.
So like Jack Smith's case?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I see. I see him either checking out right before Jack Smith's case or right after Jack Smith's case, but I can't see him going through even 2 more cases. I mean, he's just not, his heart is not going to make it.
He might be around for when Georgia starts, but I don't know if it's, like I said, I feel like that's going to be a long case to try. So maybe he doesn't get through it, the whole case.
He looks very unhealthy. He's sounding very unhealthy. And then the thing I was listening to you, Susan, about the hands, what you felt about his hands. And I thought I hadn't heard about that. So I looked it up and looked at that picture of his hands, and it did look like blisters or sores. And what you said about him being numb and him holding on to the railing and, pulling it off and that pulling skin off, that made sense to me. That felt true to me.
Well, I think there's a lot of different opinions about what happened with his hands. I would just say this. I don't think it's from a bloody nose, because him being him, he would say, "Look at my hand. There's nothing wrong with my hand. It was just from a bloody nose." Don't y'all get
right?
He would explain it. But his people came out and said it was paper cuts. That's what the official word is paper cuts. So he's saying that there were cuts. So he's at least admitting that there was something on the hand. Now, whether or not my theory is correct, I don't know. But it just, your brain gets involved, and that's not a good thing. But you start thinking about Trump. He's very vain. He spray paints his hair. He spray paints his face. In the last time I saw him, it was not brown. It was like dead brown. It was like, I don't know if they ran out of his color and he had to go to walnut or something, but it almost looked like corpse, like skin that's been frozen. And it gets that kind of, I was like, so anyway, this guy's vain. I just can't see him putting a bloody hand up. It just made sense to my brain. Maybe I'm wrong.
And doesn't his kids or his wife or anybody, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. How did I do that? Get me out of there. Okay. Doesn't his kids, I don't want him close up. Doesn't his kids or his wife or anybody that cares about him care about him enough to say, "Dad,
they care about him,
honey, that looks terrible. You don't really, you're rich."
Yeah, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh, you're just the sweetest person. Girlfriend, please, we need to, honey, nobody cares about that man. He couldn't even get in the car with his wife after his wife's mother's funeral. She was like, back up.
I posted on my community page all the things that a psychopath, the what you have to be a psychopath, and he fit every single category. Everyone.
You know who cares about him is Barron.
Yeah.
Barron
I feel
was
sorry for him.
there with his hand, Barron had this really serious expression, a dour, serious, concerned expression on his face. So I think Barron kind of cares about Trump in some weird way. But no, nobody else cares about Trump. And I didn't remember this or I didn't know this, but Trump, and you listen to Mary Trump and she says this, right? That Trump was trying to usurp his own father's fortune. His own father had the same dementia or some kind of dementia. And Trump was over there using their family lawyers to try to get this guy to sign everything over to Trump.
Wow.
Now, what I
He
see
died of Alzheimer's.
is his kids doing the same thing to him.
Mm.
They're all over there trying to change the will on him because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, I
What do you
believe it.
think?
What your kids see you do, they're gonna mock. They're gonna copy.
Do you think after Tish James is done with them, there's going to be a whole lot to
That's
be
a really
fighting
good
over?
point. That's a really good
I
point.
feel like there's nothing for him to fight over, and I think
Not
the
much.
IRS going after him too.
Scraps. And really Mar-a-Lago is not really worth that much because of all those easements, all those commitments to not changing it. You know what I mean? They had to sign. It really reduces the value. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much, but think about it though. If your option is no money or 20 million, you're going to fight over 20 million. You're going to fight over 1 million.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're going to have to split that
what's her face?
thing all them ways.
Yeah, and his daughter, she's got her own problems because her husband, he's going to have to explain how did he get $2 billion from Saudi.
He should have to explain it. He should
He
have.
will. I believe he will.
Getting in
You?
trouble this summer. I
Yeah.
got a strong hit on that. I feel like
Jared this summer.
I keep getting he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to jail too, and I think she might go to jail with him.
Mm.
If she does, I feel like hers would be house arrest or something like that.
It's
I
shorter.
don't think.
Yeah, it's shorter.
Yeah, I don't see her. She's a charmer. She's learned how to manipulate people from her dad. I wouldn't put it past her though. I think she would testify against her own dad if it meant her or him.
I saw her doing it.
Yep.
They're all going to testify against each other.
Well, why do you think she's not in trouble with the Tish James investigation? Because she complied.
Yep. And they didn't even ask her. They didn't even give her a subpoena. She came of the January 6th thing. She came of her own. I'm thinking the January 6th of her own free will. Oh, do you see one, Susan? You wanted to?
Well, we got Red Hot Lawyer in here, who's everybody says is a troll, but he says he's just got the facts. Okay, Mister.
I saw a couple trolls.
A couple of trolls. All right.
I will ignore them. I didn't.
If it's from my
just ignore
channel,
them.
if I have a mod, just put them in timeout.
Yep.
Anyone see Jared's beard? What happened, Brenda? What happened to his beard?
Jared Kushner
now
has a beard. He never had a.
Red
I
Hot
didn't see him with a
Lawyer.
beard.
Your English is not very good, sir. You need to go back and study English a little bit more.
Red Hot Lawyer, you said, huh?
Yeah.
What is this? Please read on Trump, see if he has been. Oh, okay. Rebecca wanted to know, Gilberto, will there be more student loan forgiveness? I believe there will when the Democrats take over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think student loan forgiveness.
Yes.
Annette Hartford. Hi, Annette. Said, please read on Trump to see if he has been having mini strokes and his doctor talked to him about this. I feel yes, he has.
Yeah.
I've been feeling this for over 3 years. Ischemic. The guides told me ischemic. I think that means a small stroke. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
From remember when he went to his doctor and he wouldn't tell us, and he had all the files. You know what else somebody said? That his doctor died, not Rami or whatever that guy is, but he had another doctor who crossed over, and Trump apparently went and got all his files from that office, which I think is fine. I mean, they're your files. There's the HIPAA law, but it's fascinating.
Spirit Beyond the Stars. Trump tried to wipe out his father for all the money and did the same thing to his brother's kids when their father died.
Right. That's right. But his kids are going to do it to him. I'm telling you. They won't even wait till he's in the ground.
Yeah, I see them fighting. But what do you think about this? If the IRS has a case against him, that's going to be put aside until the government gets their money. So anything that would be divided would come after that. I almost feel like there's hardly anything left.
I love that.
I've been feeling that for a long time. I've been seeing like the Trump sign coming down.
Yeah.
You know, there will be no more Trump hotels. You know, he's in trouble too for $8 million. Is it $8 million or how much that he had people in China, different people staying in his hotels.
Yeah.
His bed bug infested hotels and charged them all this money. I think it was money laundering, you know, using those buildings for money laundering. And I think they'll find that out too.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Do you guys feel more charges coming against Trump soon? Because I feel like some charges are about ready to come. I don't know if
more charges coming for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I don't know if
it happened to a better person.
I almost feel like it comes from the document case.
Yes, I agree. So Jack Smith, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sherry said special election for George Santos seat, February 13. Does it go Democrat or Republican?
It's going blue.
I think it goes Democrat.
I'm getting Democrat. And I think
But I feel like there's something weird with that race, you guys. Pay attention. New Yorkers, pay attention. Because there could be like a weird, like a Stefanik or a what's the other one that switched? There's something, whoever wins that seat there might be a little Trojan horse. There's some kind of weird thing about that seat. I'm just telling you.
I feel like it's going to be a Democrat, though. They didn't win by that much. And then you get Marjorie.
It could change to a Dem who turns out to be a turncoat. I'm getting the word turncoat.
Yeah, like what are those two people's names?
Cinema and Stefanik, right? I don't know.
Yes,
definitely. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Linda Bishop, we're almost done. This hour's gone fast, so I want to do this one more question here. Linda Bishop, do any of you see DeJoy pulling his same tricks as he did before?
I see him doing one more thing to affect mail-in voting. Whatever that is, like maintenance. We have to do maintenance. You know, something just too cute by half almost. What do you see? What do you guys see?
I feel like he's closely watched. Maybe he tries something. He has a plan, but I don't know how successful he is with it. I don't think that he's very successful because I feel like he's like what he can do. Like he's just being too watched. Like there's anything like that. I don't know if they can vote to outmaneuver him. I don't know, but I almost feel like he's going to try something, but won't be successful.
Okay. Well, that's good. I got that he's going to try. You got that he's going to try. Kevin got that he's going to try, but he's going to fail.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Kevin that they are going to be watching him. We all know what happened last time. Did you hear that there was somebody at one of the election places? I seen the thing. I forget where it was. Had a grocery bag, a paper grocery bag, and was having people put their ballots in there. And and this was a Republican doing this. And I'm like, if a Democrat did that, they'd be losing their minds.
Yeah.
You know, a paper grocery bag. I mean, how they could just throw that away, you know, if it was against them. So, well, I'll tell you what, our hour is up and it went really fast and I'm really glad you guys came on and thank you so much. I enjoyed myself and thank you everybody in the chat for coming on. And before we go, I was going to ask you, subscribe. You probably already are. Subscribe to Kevin or Susan because they're awesome. And please do like and subscribe mine if you're not. I am only 200 and something away from hitting 4,000 subscribers. And when I do, I'm going to have some little party, some little get together where we're going to give away free readings and some free things. And so to celebrate. So I've been working really hard at it. So please show me some love and hit the like and the subscribe button to help my channel grow a little bit. And if you need a reading, it's deannshieldmaidentarot@gmail.com. And Kevin, what do you got going on this week, or you know, tell them a little bit before we go.
Well, for this week, I think the only thing else for shows that I have, Mel Dorr should be on my channel Thursday night, but I have a lot of exciting collabs in the work for the following week. Susan Lynn will be on, I don't think it's next week. I think it's the following one, I think. But I have it written down, but a lot of fun stuff planned. So
that's why
How
you
about you,
subscribe.
Susan?
When you subscribe and you hit the bell notification, you get notified when we have fun
Yeah.
stuff happening.
Yep. And if you don't, I've had a couple people say that they hit the bell and they did not get notified. So go back and do it again, because I don't know why that happened, but just go back and redo it again. And I'll just say I have tomorrow I'm taking a numerology class with Deb Zakow. I'm trying to learn numerology to incorporate that into my readings, to make my readings better for you guys. The 25th, I have Fernando Marone coming on. He is a psychic medium. He's very sweet, very good. Have you met him, Susan?
When's he coming on?
He's coming on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central.
Nice. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then Friday, I am on with the Cool Crone and going to do some political videos there. And Monday, the 29th, Mel Door's coming on. And after that, every Friday, I'm doing a paranormal show, supernatural paranormal talk. And I'm having so much fun with it. We're talking about ghosts. We're talking about ETs. We're talking about the ice wall, and bringing in different people with different supernatural experiences, paranormal experiences, just to have something different to do for us. And it's fun, and we all talk about it, and the chat gets involved, and we've been having a whole lot of fun doing that. So join us on Fridays for that. So anyway, thank you for coming on, Kevin. Thank you, Susan. I enjoyed it. If you need a Reiki healing, go to Kevin. He's a master, and soon he'll be having classes so we can learn to do Reiki on ourselves and our families. And if you ever need classes to learn tarot, things like that, Susan is a great teacher. So anyway, thank you guys. You all have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.